So this is just a very common spot. This is I'm in the big blind here with ace queen, and you can see that uh, somebody opens on the button. So there's a player that opens on the button, and you can see we're very, very deep stacked. This is the cube that starts at 10 o'clock at night, or sorry, at 7 o'clock at night, and so it's a $10 add-on, one rebuy, one add-on. So it's basically a $30 tournament. It's pretty much the biggest tournament I play buy-in wise. So you can see he opens to 331, and I start feeling a little confident and decide to 3-bet. And I 3-bet to 388. Now you can see just on this guy's 3-bet status, you can see I have 240 hands on him, and his 3-bet status is 3%. His steal percentage, if you look pre-flop, his steal percentage is 33%. So his attempt to steal is like 33%, which means ace queen should really be ahead of his range. And one of the reasons I chose the 3-bet here is it's not something I really do very often when we're deep. But when I'm so sure I'm ahead, I usually will always do it. And so what happens here is I basically 3-bet the guy to 78. I try to put like a min 3-bet in with the intention, and I always say if you're going to 3-bet something, you have to have an intention if you get 4-bet. And I 3-bet the guy, and he 4-bets like pretty much half his stack, or not half his stack, but he basically puck commits himself because I don't think I can shove here. I don't think he's going to fold for 6K to call into what I shove here. There's just no way. So I really don't know what to do at this point. And I almost never put myself in these spots where I 3-bet with no knowledge of what I'm doing when the guy 4-bets. What I find that's been going on in this streak all the time is one of my strengths used to be that I would always be able to pick off bluffs, and I'd always be able to pick off people who didn't have it and get it in good and just always sort of make the right move, or at least it felt like it. But it really seems right now in this streak that I'm not making the right move, and I'm not going to debate this hand to death. I ended up folding. I don't know what the guy had. I don't know what's the right move, but I'm curious, like, everybody can see his stats. His stats are all there, so I'm really curious to see what people kind of have to say about the hand. But that's this hand. This is another hand. It's 6 max, which used to be sort of my forte. Is playing 6 max, and you can see there's a raise, and I choose to defend with 8-9 off. Now you can see when it gets to me, it's very little call. There's a raise to 625 and a call, and there is just not, it's just not a very big. It's not much to call into a half decent pot. I don't love my hand, but again, if you look at my stack size, I have a massive stack. So I thought, speculating here is not a bad spot, and I'm usually going to play better out of position than anyone else. In retrospect, I look at this hand and I think, oh my goodness, what am I doing calling here? This guy here has barely 10 big blinds, and I have 9 high, 8-9 off. But I choose to call, and the flop comes kind of as good and dirty as it can come. If you're going to flop something bottom 2 pair is probably pretty bad. I mean, you'd rather flop top pair at this point with an 8 or 9 than flop bottom 2 pair with a jack on the board. It just really makes it sticky. So what happens is that I'm in the blind, so I'm getting ready to basically check raise someone all in. I don't even necessarily think that's the right play either. With this short stack here, I definitely think I should be leading out. But I didn't want to lead out and then get raised, even though in theory, I mean, like a hand like queens I'm probably flipping with. Over pairs like aces and kings I'm ahead of. Ace jack I have beat as well. So I don't know why I don't lead out here. I just really don't. And, I think I always say this to other people. When you call with a hand like 8-9 off pre-flop out of position, you're going to have trouble playing a post-flop because you shouldn't be in the hand. So you can see the turn's pretty much as dirty as it gets. Somebody leads out, and I wonder, this is the original raiser, this cagey guy. Could he really have a 10? And if he did have a 10, why didn't he bet it on the flop? Because it just really doesn't make sense. So then I get in the spot where, okay, well, I'm going to call because obviously if I hit it at 8 or 9, I'm probably going to get a stack if he does have a 10. But what's sort of my plan? And he's betting more than half pot, which makes it even worse. So I end up calling that, and the river bricks. Now, I have to check because I'm out of position, which is the whole reason why I shouldn't call in the first place. And the villain leads out like half pot, and I think for a while thinking, can he really have a 10? And if he doesn't have a 10, what the heck does he have? Because if he has an overpair, he's probably checking it. If he has like almost anything, unless a 10, he should be checking it, unless he's bluffing. But would he really bluff into 2 players? And I just, I put myself in this really lost spot, and I end up folding again.